For all our differences and diversity, the world can agree on one thing: education is at the heart of a sustainable future for us all. In 2015, voices from all sectors of society and all corners of the globe contributed to one of the greatest collaborations in history: an ambitious plan for people, planet and prosperity. A plan to wipe out poverty by 2030 and pave the way to an inclusive and sustainable future. A plan to build on human rights with education at its very core. Education is not only a basic right for every woman, man and child. It forms the foundation for every kind of human right, making it key to the success of all 17 Sustainable Development Goals of Agenda 2030 and to the future of every individual on the planet. With hundreds of millions of children and youth around the world still missing out and millions more leaving school without the skills they need, the Global Education 2030 Agenda is focused on a vital goal of ensuring inclusive and equitable quality education and promoting lifelong learning opportunities for all. The sheer scale of this commitment calls for the highest levels of coordination, partnership and collaboration across the globe. Guided by the Education 2030 Framework for Action, which sets out a clear game plan for countries and key partners, the SDG Education 2030 Steering Committee plays a critical role as a central driving force to keep everyone moving in the right direction. Convened by UNESCO, the Steering Committee is a democratic, multi-stakeholder partnership made up of mostly member states representing all regions, as well as the United Nations agencies, international and regional organizations, representatives of civil society, the private sector, foundations and youth. Drawing on the strength of this diverse partnership, the Steering Committee works to provide strategic guidance to member states and the education community at large, and advise on critical action to bring about change, all the while advocating for the resources needed to support transformation. The Steering Committee also takes the reins for accountability, monitoring progress towards Education 2030 targets through UNESCO's Institute for Statistics and the Global Education Monitoring Report. Within the greater UN SDG picture, the Steering Committee engages at regional, national and global levels to ensure that everyone working towards education targets is pulling in the same direction, with two-way communication on all fronts to keep strategies aligned and efforts in sync. The Steering Committee also partners with global bodies linked to the SDG framework. Through its far-reaching global network and focused sense of agency, the Steering Committee is a force for scaling up innovation, resources and action, expanding the power of partnership and collaboration across all sectors of society and the global development community. Achieving our goal for a world of quality education and lifelong learning for every person on the planet is a shared responsibility for us all. Let's stand together in our commitment to giving every woman, man and girl and boy their right to a critical foundation and the opportunity to play their part in building our sustainable future. Follow our work at www.sdgforeducation2030.org and at Education 2030 UN.